We're recording. Gosh, this is the first time in a long
It's
time.
been a long time, yeah.
I think, when did we start this? What was it? Was it a year ago? Was it more than a year ago?
It had to have been more than a year ago now.
I don't even know, like...
Did a couple of them at your place.
That was, that was in the basement. That was back in the day. We started in the basement. And then we just started doing them out here. We started doing them in the shed. We did one out here, one down, did a few down bottom.
Yeah. We can't do nothing in the shed right now. Everything's kind of full.
Well, do you want to tell our friends where we are, even though they probably already know?
We're on my land. You're looking at my family's food supply, part of it. So.
Garden de... No. Garden de Casa Farmer Joe. So tell me about those, because I think the United States might need to step their game up.
Yeah, they do. So I've always been a dipper. I've been dipping since I was about 14 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. And I used to be really poor. And like I'm rich now, but
Yeah.
I used to be poor.
Well, you're richer.
Well, I'm not as poor. And so
Semi-poor.
I used to dip like the red seal and the longhorn and
The gas station stuff.
the gas station stuff. The
Well, I guess
bottom
it's all
shelf.
it's all
Yeah,
gas station
it's
stuff.
bottom shelf stuff. And I got onto Stoker's because you could get a bucket of it, and that bucket would last me about a week and a half, and it was $12. Well, it's like $20 now, but I still dip Stoker's.
Yeah.
Well, I ran across this stuff over in Poland, and apparently it is 26% or 26 milligrams.
Jeez.
And so you pop 3 of these a day, you're good.
Good for the rest of the year. I'm gonna grab my sunglasses because I'm dying out here. I realize that you have your hat on to protect your eyes, and I'm just out here looking like a Chinaman. Gosh, man. So I don't even know where to start. I guess we could start with my buddy that handcrafted this belt. Excuse me. I got this belt. I want to say it was October. Got this belt in October, and my buddy Jeff that makes them, he's retired. I think he was at 7th Group Special Forces, and he just started making belts. And I don't know his exact story. I really have to be careful with that. But when I went down to Florida, you can take a look at it. When I went down to Florida for the Anti-Hero podcast, he was down there. That was where we first met. And he showed me the belt, and I was like, geez, dude, I for the longest time, I was rocking like the Ex Umbris Designs, which is a great belt. But this one, it just,
That's nice.
It's a little bit more robust.
Yeah.
And then so he was like, I can make this and put your CSGI logo on there. And
I
was
didn't
like,
even see that until you said it.
yeah. And that's the little
CSGI.
that's the little Velcro thing that I can actually take off and put that on any belt. I just use it for, to manage the slack.
That's cool. That's a nice belt.
And so he started making these belts, and I actually went to his website and I bought this hat that I always wear now. So he's not necessarily a sponsor of the channel, but he's someone whose gear I use who I really like. We're not going to talk about that holster mount. We're not going to discuss that.
We're about to, because I'm still looking for that perfect holster for that 10 mil, and I can't find one.
I told you so. That company, which we won't say the name, they were like, hey, we want you to try out our gear and possibly do some paid promotion. And I was like, sure. I was like, send it to me. I'll see if I like it. So they sent it to me, and my goal this year was with like gear reviews and stuff like that to set my price. So it's very easy as a content creator to just review everything that comes across your desk. And obviously, I'm a little bit more busy now than what I was. And so I can't just get paid with the gear. So I have a set price. And I mean, I think that most content creators do. And with the reach that I have, the engagement that I have, I think it's fair. And so we had been talking back and forth, and I sent them my prices. Now, there's only one of two things that can happen when I send pricing. I either never hear from them again, or they say, no problem, let's do it. Or there's a third, which is what these guys did. And so they were like, hey, we're glad you like the holster and everything else. We we looked over your prices. We're not going to be able to do that. And then I think their counter offer was significantly lower than what I was asking for. And they said that the reason is because they wanted to free up their budget to work with other content creators. And, as a content creator, I didn't hear that and get mad. I heard that and like, hey, they have a game plan that's already in place. And if they're not willing to budge on the budget, maybe I'm not a good fit. And so I told him, I said, well, at this time, I can't afford to, I'm shooting, as you see, on thousands of dollars worth of camera gear.
Yeah, you got some fancy cameras.
Got some debt that came along with them. So it was cool. I mean, it wasn't like we were beefing or anything. I think it turned out ideal for people parting ways. And I don't want to close that door, but at the same time, I'm still running Safariland, and my main holster company, or the main holster company that I go with, is Sheepdog Holsters.
Yeah.
So Sheepdog, he made all the hot dog stuff and all the.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put it out there for everybody. If you can find me a good holster for a Springfield XDM OSP 10 millimeter that with an optic or with a Holosun on it,
yeah,
like I've been looking for one and I can't find any of them.
You've issued the challenge,
and every time I find one, it's like a paddle holster or a inside the waistband holster. Like, man, I'm a big guy, but I'm not still carrying that goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I want something that I could put on my oversized belt.
Yeah.
So,
well, you already have your belt set up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna see if we could see about. I'll probably buy one from Jeff.
I'd definitely take one of these.
I told him, I was like, dude, this is a great product.
We're gonna see how much material he's got.
And honestly, I've put it on and done. I've done stuff down there on the range and kind of just put it on to see how comfortable it is getting in and out of a car and everything else, and it's not bad.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. So back in my skinnier days when I was still running around doing things for the good of society.
Yeah.
I had those combat belts. Mm-hmm. The Marine Corps issued them out, and they weren't bad. They really weren't. And you didn't realize you set the belt all up, and you're like, yeah, this feels comfortable. The first time you get out and you have to hump like 12 miles.
Yeah.
And that belt, you realize that this ain't a good belt.
Well, and that's the thing about gear, man, is that a lot of times, so like plate carriers. I've got a few plate carriers at the house, and you first put it on, they all feel the same. Mm-hmm. When you first put them on, they're legitimately, it's a plate carrier. It's not until you do something where there's heat, there's dry, there's wet, there's cold. It's not until you're moving around and actually having to wear it in kind of an operational capacity that you really are able to test. Because some of them, the neck straps will ride up and they'll rub against your neck. Mm-hmm. Some of them, the cummerbunds will rub up under your arms, and so you really have to, put your stuff to the test.
Well, I'll tell you this. What is something you always see, and you always see it with old fat white men. They always wear it when they're working. All the time.
Suspenders.
Combat suspenders are lifesavers. And
really?
Even when I was a skinny little thing,
yeah,
I learned that if you put some combat suspenders on that belt, that it becomes extremely comfortable.
Makes a difference. Takes all that weight off your hips.
Yep, and you don't have to be hiking the belt up while you're running around doing stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Combat suspenders. I'm a fan. I got a pair.
Well, now that we've done the actual, or I've mentioned this gear, it's time for me to mention the actual sponsor of the channel, which is Bunker Branding. I have my own merch on Bunker Branding /KingPix Media. If you go there and you type in KingPix Media or click the link in this video, you can get the Peek Inside Every Time shirt. You can get Combat Solutions Group Industries. You can get Punch Out, all the shirts that I have with all the crazy phrases that I've come up with over the last few years. It's all available on Bunker Branding, and they're quality shirts. I've got hoodies. I have range instructor shirts. So if you are an instructor and you'd like a hoodie or a shirt that is in the color of red, you can make that purchase there. So shout out to Bunker Branding. All right, so what is this? Let's talk about this. I know we've looked at this before, but we shot this yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah.
So I originally built that back in 2009, and it has just been a steady just roll of upgrades to it. And so
you start out at this level and you just add stuff to it.
Well, I started out, it was a Yankee Hill. I got all the parts from Yankee Hill and put it together because I don't like buying full rifles. I like doing it myself, unless
Yeah.
it's a long gun, because
Yeah.
I'm not that intelligent. So, but for these, yeah, it's I've been using this thing for quite a while. It's got a new barrel. It's a Yankee Hill barrel. It's got a Yankee Hill Spectre rail, and that's one of the things. I'm gonna go old boomer here for a second.
Let's do it.
Every rifle that I see nowadays, these guys have the skinny rails.
Yeah.
The ones you can wrap your fingers
Yeah,
around,
that
and
C clamp.
and I just like I got maybe the Marine Corps ruined me, but I just like the
Yeah.
regular Picatinny rails.
Well, you're also a large, muscular guy.
Well, even in my skinnier days, I like those Picatinny
Yeah.
rails on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got I'll tell you this right now. I got a hydraulic piston system, not for the gas system,
Yeah.
but one that actually goes in the buttstock.
Yeah.
And you will not believe how much that will change the feel of the rifle.
I mean,
firing.
it's
like
smooth.
it takes the rattle out of it. It
Yeah.
takes the recoil down. I mean, this ain't got no recoil to speak of anyway.
Meanwhile,
but
I got my PSA, and it's like, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not this. It doesn't shoot like this.
no, this is a great rifle.
Yeah.
And then you got the I kind of stayed light on the attachments. The only attachment I really have for it is the Skeeter thermal in front of it, and this thing's great, man.
Yeah.
Like, you turn it to the side, you can shoot all you want to, and
Yeah.
then if it's dark, you throw it in front of it, turn it on.
Well, I still remember that night a few nights we spent down in the barn,
Yeah,
looking for those predators that were snatching the chickens, and that thing's
wild, isn't
it? It's one thing to have it like in low light,
Mhm.
but to have it in like pitch black,
Oh yeah,
oh
nothing's
man,
hiding.
gosh,
So I've the last couple weeks I've had to grease 3 foxes out here.
Mhm.
I didn't use this to grease them either.
3 foxes and a raccoon.
Yeah, the raccoon was last night. Dude, I hate raccoons. But no, so I lost like a quarter of my flock.
Jeez.
And the problem is I let them free range during the day, and they're pretty good during the day, but these assholes started coming out midday. Like, they were doing midday raids. And when that started happening, I was like, all right, they gotta go. And so what I did was, you see this garden area here is all fenced in because I have a deer problem.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a problem if you're hungry, but you can't put.
but they'll take everything.
They will destroy everything. But I got this big old fence around this thing, and so what I do is I put the Fox Pro in here, and I'll
Yeah, I saw it up on the
it's
up on the
over,
post right
yeah,
there.
there it is right there. So I'll put the Fox Pro in here, and I'll turn it on, and I'll go sit up there on the porch, and I got a Suppress 22 with a thermal,
Yeah,
and I'll sit out here and I'll call them in, and when they come in, they'll sit here and circle this entire garden trying to get in it, and after he's done about 2 passes, he's
Yeah.
getting kind of bored, getting kind of anxious.
Mhm.
I'll turn the Fox Pro off.
Wait, I need to make sure your mic's on because I don't see the light on it.
It's on.
Okay, it's on. I was looking, I was like, oh crap, I don't see the freaking light on there. And I don't,
Well, I'll put that Fox Pro on, or I'll turn it off. And when I
Yeah.
turn it off, they always stop,
Yeah.
freeze, and they turn the ear to the side. to
It
try to
confuses
get
them.
that sound,
yeah,
and that's what I call the death pause. That's when they go down.